So, I'm at the screen ready to start.
Okay. Just count me down.
All right, 3. Well, there's also like an in-game timer. I'm not sure if.
Okay, well, we'll use this timer and you can check the
Okay.
timer later.
All right. 3, 2, 1, go. All right. So this is SSX 3. It is a snowboarding video game. It is the third in the SSX trilogy, and essentially how this game, I guess, converts to a speed run is you essentially, I guess it doesn't, play like a speed run like many, and I just messed up there. It doesn't play like a speed run like many conventional games would, because there isn't exactly a good any percent, and the 100% is like really long and uninteresting. So instead, we have what's called the all peak race, which is essentially an in-game event that you can do that has all the big racetracks stacked up against each other, and you just go through there as fast as possible, and that's the most popular category for the game. Right here, I'm doing tricks to fill up my boost. You see it says Uber, it says Super Uber there. And I do tricks to keep up that boost, and as I do Uber tricks, like if I take my foot, pry my foot off of the board there and do all kinds of fancy tricks, it adds a letter to Super Uber. And if I fill that up to Super Uber, I get unlimited boost for about a minute. And that's a very critical part of this run, because there are sections in between tracks which are really, really short, meant to be for this game's explore mode, I guess. I just messed up there. There's basically like these transitions you can do in between tracks through these stations, and you really need Super Uber for those sections there. This is a really terrible start to a run, but I'm just kind of settling in now, hopefully, and that's a really bad place to get Super Uber. I did not mean to do that. So I'm going to go into this station soon, and it's going to run out in the middle of it, and it's going to be sad. You want to plan out when you do these tricks to have Super Uber in a place where you're not going to be able to land that many tricks. And yeah. So the only point of doing tricks is to fill up that meter. It doesn't matter how many points or whatever you get. So you just, try and plan out for the run where you want to do the tricks. I guess I'll talk a little bit about the history of this game, I suppose. So the early history of this game, as far as I'm aware, is Cloaked Yoshi did a run of this at an SGDQ, and I think 2013 or 14, I can't quite remember. Yeah, he got a mid-20. I should be getting, based on practice runs, that's about average for me, is mid-20. Not so sure after that bad start though, but yeah. And then very recently, a lot of runners have been really grinding this game. The three main runners who are really good at this are Rythek, Daggy Boy, and I don't know what's there, and Insechik. And ever since, within the past 4 months, the record has gone down by 2 minutes, and the category has undergone a big rules change with regard to the select warps, which I'll show off here in a little bit. There's a few sections where you can make use of select warps, which is basically you can press select if you're in an area you don't want to be, and it warps you back to the track automatically. And this can be abused. Oh gosh, this can be abused to get to certain to skip parts of the track. So yeah, and the category was undergone a major rechange because it was a little hard to understand, because they kind of wanted to have it was a clean run, and then they changed it so that you can do all select warps, because before it was very really not practical to try and determine what is and isn't a clean run. So yeah. And the world record has gone down by about 2 minutes within the last 4 months or so. So it's pretty impressive. I'm not nearly that good yet. My PB is like a low 20. I could get a, didn't want to do that. I'm not focusing too well. But yeah, so my PB is about a low 20. And I'm capable of sub 20. I don't think it's going to happen this run after this start, but we'll see. It's still a little early. Luckily in this game, I mean, even though there are sections where you can obviously lose, you know, annoyingly a good bit of seconds in some places, it's really extremely linear, and it's not hard at all to get, you know, a 25 in this. Even casually, you get within 10 minutes of world record pretty easily, just because you go down a mountain. But you got to do a bunch of strats. There are, you know, there's lots of individual strats you can go. I don't know. You can talk a little bit. I think I'll play a little bit better if I talk a little bit less. So, got any questions?
I do actually.
Yeah?
My first question is, it looks like the downhill has multiple paths. Is that correct?
Yeah, there's
Okay.
multiple paths you can take. There is, in most cases, always a faster path that you want to take. So, oh, that wasn't good.
Yeah, that basically answers everything.
Yeah? All right.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Which is your favorite song on the soundtrack?
My favorite song, I have a playlist set up that I normally use. I could have done like 6 songs to set up for this run, but in general, it's a toss-up maybe between Yellow Card's Way Away and Thrice's Staring at the Sun and Autopilot Off Clockworks. Those are probably the top 3 if I had to pick. But yeah, this game has licensed music, and it's a really good soundtrack. You should go out and buy the singles or albums from these bands and support music. Yeah? Yeah. I should have done an Uber trick in there. Yeah. Alright. So soon here, I'm going to be doing a select warp that saves a little bit of time. I'm really shocked I'm somehow still on this good pace after some pretty awful mistakes. So yeah, I just did a select warp there, and select warps are basically if you go off the track, you get stuck, you warp back, and it's meant to punish you and usually takes you farther back up the track and takes away your boost. Except if you have Super Uber, it doesn't do that. But yeah, there's a few places where you can abuse it and warp ahead that the developers didn't really intend for you to do. And there's lots of places you can do it, like there. So yeah, this game is just a bunch of, almost essentially a bunch of rail tricks and, you know, sneaky little jumps that you have to do back to back. It's a lot of that. So you have to be really consistent on it to get really good times. This is sketchy. I need to try and get 3 more Ubers. That works for one of them. Oh, damn, I clutched that one out. Nice.
I have a new question.
Yeah?
So is there any specific movement tricks, for example, that you have to do to optimize anything? You know, that type of stuff?
Movement is pretty simple. The biggest, some deeper tech is after some jumps, you want to try and do a board press afterwards, so you don't, because you often stutter after like big jumps and big tricks and stuff. And to negate that, you do a board press, and it saves fractions of seconds. Yeah.
Another question I have
Yeah?
Have you ever tried speedrunning this game with the PS2 skateboard controller?
No, I have not.
Okay. Next NASA marathon, that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
We still have our controller, right?
Yeah, we have ours.
Yeah. Okay, so next, if this happens again, first
Yeah.
thing, I will bring actual tech. Second thing, I'm bringing the skateboard controller.
Nice. Yeah. So, this game has an in-game timer, and it has auto splits, basically. Essentially, you're given a 25-minute time limit, which is essentially you're trying to beat your rival's time in this. That's the way the game phrases and makes the challenge setup. And it's essentially you go against your rival's splits or whatever. So the minus 30 seconds, minus a minute you see at each checkpoint is what the game, I guess, lists your rival as to try and tell you if you're ahead or behind the target time, I suppose. And so that's a really good indicator of how good the run is going.
The skateboard controller actually has a handheld like controller portion as well. So while you're skating, your thumb and hand controls the rest of the controller.
Mm-hmm.
It's actually well thought out.
Yeah. All right. So we're about halfway through, a little over halfway through the run right now. So get super uber here. It's not necessarily the ideal select warp. There's a strat you can do there. I'm not very good at it. I haven't gotten it down once, but I figured I'd try for it. You can abuse a select warp there and be farther down in this pipe. Go down here, make a hard left. More air than I wanted. Air isn't good in this game. You want to try and make your jumps really low so that you can boost on the ground and be fast. Rails are also just super fast. You get zero resistance on it whatsoever, and you get max speed pretty instantly off of them. So yeah, those are things you want to do if you want to do this. This is also a pretty good run to just pick up casually, I guess, because it's really quite relaxing, I find. Not so much when you have strong PBs or whatever, if you are making mistakes and you get frustrated, but it's in general a really chill run. Yeah, and once again I'm trying to get super uber so I can go through. I knew that would happen. I tried not to do a boost there. I tried to wait until after that to see if I bonk on a tree, but it's unfortunate I bonked there. Nice. This run has somehow bounced back and been really good. I don't really get it. I'm kind of brainless through this. All right, cool. We got super uber for this part now. Now we're going into Snow Jam. We're going into the final third of the run. Here it is, way away. Minus 312. This is close to par with PB pace, so it's turned into a pretty good run after the atrocious start. So I'm kind of really happy about that. This can definitely sub 19 if I get really good Metro City and Snow Jam. But yeah. Got any other questions?
I don't, but somebody in chat asked, is there any reason why you specifically chose this character?
Not really. Biggest reason is probably I went through my memory cards to try and find a character with max stats when I wanted to pick up this game speedrunning. And I've wanted to go through what I did casually years ago to try and find that memory card, and this was a character that had everything. So that's the only reason, pretty much. I don't really care which character I use. So there's no difference in stats or anything between them. The only questionable difference is their hitboxes might be a bit different for different characters. But that's pretty much the only thing. And I messed up getting Super Uber. I feel like it's not super important I get Super Uber in this track. But in fact, come to think of it, it might debatably be better to do that so that you have an easier time getting Super Uber later. I'm not really sure. Oh no! It's not good. Yeah, this is not a good route I'm doing here. This is not good at all. Oh boy. It's all going to come down to if I get the perfect Metro City, if I sub 19 at this point. But I don't know if it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen, but we'll see. What? I don't even know.
Yeah, I've seen that happen before. I think it's just the geometry of that log.
Yeah. Oh, crap. I didn't mean to get Super Uber there. This is not good.
So,
Yeah?
I have a new question.
Uh-huh.
So since there's branching paths and everything like that, is there a decent or good resource for if you ever wanted to pick up this game to like know what those paths would be, etc.?
Yeah, a few of the runners are, I think, in the middle of trying to create some good resources, but I got off that rail too early. But yeah, I say watching runs is a good plan. I'm jamming right now. All right, we're on the last track here. This is it. Trying to grind on those benches. Yeah, this is probably going to be barely not sub 19, but here it is, Metro City. This is the end of the run and quite a very scenic end to the all-peak race run. Here we go. Yeah, grinding's fun. That's fine. All right, I'm gonna do some magic here and get a magical warp. Let's see where it puts me. That gave me the bad warp. That wasn't very good. So now we're gonna do another, we can warp through these telephone booths and it warps us farther down the track, which is really odd and cool. This has a small hope of subbing 19. It's all gonna come down to the third telephone booth, which I'm really, really sketchy on. Not good at it, but I think I ought to go for it. Yeah, this is it. If I get it, I'm subbing 20. If I don't get it, it's rip me. Here we go. I fucking got it! Fuck yeah! Let's go, 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 go!
By 2 seconds.
It's a new PB.
Started was like 20 on the dot.
Woohoo!
Oh man.
There we go.
PB for you?
Yeah, it's a new PB. Yeah. I mean, it's not the most impressive. There are runners that have it down to 17, but I'm really happy that happened. Whew. So yeah.
Where's his 25?
So yeah, that's SSX 3.